now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into another high school preview show, this time with Clinton High School and Coach Spangler. What's going on, Coach?
Nothing much, man. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you on. Another first-timer here. We had West Ashley earlier and Clinton now. Never had him on the high school preview show. Love doing these, kind of highlighting your program. And we'll kind of start it right off, Coach. Let's talk about last year a little bit, some seniors that you lost, as well as the season in general.
Yeah, we overall we had a really good season. I think our record was 21-8 at Clinton High School. That's a really good year. Made it all the way to the upper state bracket. And on paper, like I said, really, really good year. Obviously, we're disappointed to get beat out. We lost some big time games. Had some struggles, some heartbreak. So obviously, when you don't finish on top, you feel like the season wasn't super successful. But in reflection, we did a lot of good things. A lot of young guys. We had 3 seniors last year, and one that was an everyday player, and the other 2 guys were kind of role players in and out. So we only lost 3 guys and 1 starter. So it kind of makes you excited about this year. But like I said, last year was tough. We had a lot of maturing to do. My first year as a head coach, I made plenty of mistakes. We're excited about this year because of the pain that last year brought, so to say.
Yeah, no doubt. And kind of hopping into that with some top returners, we know you prep baseball has been fortunate enough to have 2 of your guys around a good bit. Who are some top returners for you guys that contributed a lot last year that you are going to depend on to contribute a lot again this year?
Yeah, so like you said, I know y'all know Luke Young, Camden Finley. 2 amazing talents, 2 great players. Got a lot of tools, both of them do. I'm impressed every single day I show up to the field. Luke Young impressed me more and more. The other day we had a Halloween scrimmage. He's dressed up as a hot dog and he hits 2 home runs. So it's like you put this dude in a hot dog contest or costume and he freaking hits 2 balls out on the track over at the Sponge. So super impressive. Then you got Camden Finley. Camden Finley dressed up in a big baby blow-up doll, and he had a heck of a day too. So it was kind of fitting that those 2 guys, no matter the circumstances, they're going to show up and compete and perform. Other guys we have returning, we got a lot. Like I said, we lost basically 1 everyday player. So a lot of guys returning. Talon Campbell played second base for us last year, had an amazing year. He's coming back. Tanner Finley pitched, played third base, played first base. Great leader. That's Camden's brother. Great player. Owen Glenn played right field. Zach Lawson pitched. Jaden Glenn's played shortstop. So we got a lot of guys returning. Like I said, we went through some growing pains. We have had our ups and downs. We rode the wave, and hopefully this year we're all kind of coming together and expecting a good year for sure.
You got a good core group of guys. It's always good to return that many guys, which takes us to newcomers. Now, you didn't lose a lot from that team, but what are some newcomers that you think might be able to step up, whether that be late in the year in the playoffs?
Yeah, our sophomore class is a really good class. We have 4 guys who played a lot as freshmen. That's Angel Vargas, Graydon Watkins, William Addison, and Isaac Kane. All those guys got a lot of time on the field last year, and they made freshman type mistakes a lot of times. They were all very successful. They're all super talented, and like I said, played on a pretty good team. So obviously they were doing some things right, but when in reflection on the season, looking back, we're like, okay, those were some freshman type mistakes. So all those guys have worked super hard this offseason. They've all put on, weight and muscle. I heard Coach Willis talking about his guys gaining weight and working really hard in the weight room, and that's what these guys have done. So kind of trying to avoid that sophomore slump, you know, and the bottom line is those guys got to grow up. A lot of our success that we'll have this year will be dependent on the maturity that sophomore class shows. So we're excited to see it.
Yeah, no doubt. You got them corn-fed boys in the weight room over there in Clinton.
I heard Coach Willis talking about his squad. I was like, we need to. They might could get us on the field. We need to go match up in the weight room one day, see what we. But that's always a fun part to see those guys grow and mature, and the weight room's maybe the biggest part of that. So they've done a really good job.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach, you talk about a lot of those guys returning, some expectations going into this year. I know you didn't finish up as well as you wanted to at the end of last year, but what are some expectations you have moving into this current year?
Yeah, I think this senior class, out of our 5 seniors, 4 of them, when they were freshmen, they got called up, and they were a part of that state championship team in 23. So, you know, their roles were different, obviously, than they are going to be this season, but they saw it. They saw what it took. They saw the commitment, the love, the passion, you know, all that good stuff. So, you know, our expectations are super high. Once you win a state championship, you can't really reel up your expectations back in. You're kind of expecting those things every year. With that being said, you know, in order to accomplish that, we kind of, me, Luke Young, Coach Stevenson, and William Madison, we had a good conversation the other day. And we're kind of talking about all the missed opportunities we had last year. We're saying, man, if this guy would have made that play, and if we would have done this, and, you know, if I wouldn't have sent him here, whatever, we're kind of still licking our wounds. And then finally I said, you know what, guys, if we deserve to be champions, then we would have been the champions. Like, we didn't earn that right on a day-to-day basis. And ultimately at the end of the season, it showed up. So my expectation, and I know this fall, the main thing that our team worked on was we're going to be champions every single day. So it's easy to say those things, and that's good coach talk. You know, we want to be champions every day, but it's another thing to show up and actually try to accomplish it. So my expectation, I want these guys to enjoy it every single day, and I want them to not only learn how to be champions, but really, you know, understand what that means every single day.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you said, that expectation bar is a little higher now. The state championships, not too long ago either. Especially with the athletics program at Clinton too, winning a lot of state championships. So it's a big area and a small town.
Yeah, we Jaden Glenn and Luke Young, you know, this is my first year not coaching football, but I coached football for 6 years, and Jaden Glenn and Luke Young played football, and so they have a state championship in baseball. They have one in football. So, like I said, you know, that's kind of, once you get the taste for that, you want nothing less. So,
exactly, that's a good problem to have.
For sure.
Coach, I know we're fired up to see you guys this spring, and I know we're going to be very high on you guys as we get those preseason picks at the beginning of the year. But really, really appreciate you hopping on and breaking down your guys and your program.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, and thank y'all for everything y'all do for our state and for the game of baseball. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.